Welcome to our virtual world, CSOP Metaverse meeting room in Roblox. Today, we are very honored to invite CSOP Portfolio Manager Mr. Wang to have a special interview with us here. We will explore the mystery of the Metaverse together. Hello, Mr. Wang.
Hello.
In the market, people always have their own understandings of Metaverse. From your perspective, Mr. Wang, what should be the essential nature of Metaverse?
In my view, the nature of the Metaverse can be explained from two aspects. The first is an upgrade in the form of interaction between people and the virtual world, initially through text messages and phone calls, evolving to video chats, and now even to socializing in 3D immersive environments. The second is the upgrade in interactive experience. In the past, the bigger screens in TVs and IMAX cinemas were the mediums to a more immersive experience. However, since there are physical limitations to screen sizes, we believe the Metaverse can tackle this and push physical limits by creating a 3D immersive world through the digital twin technology. For example, the pandemic has shifted classroom learning to online video classes, which has proven to be far less effective than face-to-face learning, perhaps due to video formats being less stimulating to children and can't grab their attention. Whereas in a 3D immersive classroom that replicates a physical environment, students will be less inclined to, let's say, play on their phones, as it would attract the teachers' and peers' attention in the same way that it would in a physical classroom setting.
So what do you think are the key features of Metaverse?
To me, the most important features are social interaction and creativity, which have been realized in many products already. For example, everyone can create different virtual spaces with corresponding rules and invite their friends into these spaces. People have their own customized avatars and virtual identities to immersively interact with other avatars in these spaces as well. And also, continuity and immediacy are also the features of the Metaverse, which are currently relatively difficult to realize compared to the interactivity and the creativity features. Just an example, let's say hypothetically I open a door in the virtual space that I created. Questions may arise, such as whether the other players on the same server can see that door is open, or whether I would still see that the door is open after logging off and then logging back in 2 minutes later. It remains to be a difficulty for many products to solve these problems, especially when a huge number of users are online at the same time due to the existing technical limitations in infrastructure.
So when we talk about relationship between Metaverse and other popular technologies, is decentralization a prerequisite for the Metaverse?
I don't think so, but decentralization is indeed part of what we expect in the Metaverse. For the Metaverse, decentralization will mainly occur in the application platform. Both decentralized and centralized platforms can provide creators with a space to publish their creative content and achieve monetization as well. First of all, the original goal of decentralization is good. From the perspective of income distribution, decentralized platforms such as Android, Apple App Store, Epic, and Roblox take around 15 to 30% commission from the revenue generated by application developers, with commission rates of up to 50% seen on platforms like Mobile Hardcore Alliance, also known as MHA. Whereas decentralized platforms such as Decentraland don't take any commissions from their developers. Moreover, because decentralized platforms have always taken the dominant position and have a greater voice, the interest of developers cannot be guaranteed in the long run as well. However, the current development of decentralization has some limitations. The first is in the form of high cost. In the early stage, decentralized platforms require huge capital investments from their foundations to support full-stack technology R&D, incentivize developers, attract new customers, maintain operations, so on and so forth, in order to compete with their centralized competitors. After all, the determining factors of a long-term competitive landscape are high-quality developer groups, sustainable monetization, and high-quality content. By doing this, the platform can attract more and more active users. The second is that decentralized platforms have not yet entered the immersive virtual reality market. The current decentralized platforms such as Decentraland and Sandbox can only be browsed on the computers instead of through VR headsets for more immersive experiences. Developers will need to pay the commission if they want to make their applications or creations accessible through VR headsets, which is also very contrary to the original goal of decentralization as well.
What are the implications of blockchain technology and NFT for the metaverse?
The metaverse can be an application scenario for blockchain technology and NFT. And at the same time, blockchain technology and NFT could also promote the development of user interactions and transactions in the metaverse. However, the current application of blockchain and NFT in the metaverse is still at a basic level, which is limited by the blockchain technology itself. These technological limitations can cause some difficulties in application, such as the high costs to blockchain-based NFT transactions. And it is only when we overcome these technical difficulties can we see blockchain and NFTs be widely adopted in the metaverse.
Metaverse and Web 3.0 are often discussed together. How do you view the relationship between the two? Does the metaverse represent the next generation of the internet?
In our opinion, Web 3.0 may only be a subset of the metaverse and not equivalent to the metaverse per se. However, the metaverse can contain many features of Web 3.0, including the feature of decentralization we just mentioned. We can say that the next generation of internet can be realized by the metaverse, but the application scenarios of the metaverse are not limited to the internet applications. We have seen that immersive 3D technology were used in many industrial and manufacturing sectors to improve existing R&D and production efficiency. For example, engineers from ASML, the world's largest lithography machine company in the Netherlands, can't travel to Taiwan during the pandemic, of course, but can use the Unity 3D engine imaging solution with HoloLens glasses to remotely instruct TSMC engineers on how to repair machines. Therefore, these are also investment directions with commercial value as well. In general, I believe that the metaverse may have greater application scenarios and development potentials than the Web 3.0 and the next generation of the internet.
Mr. Wang, you have shared with us a lot of information about Metaverse, but how do we actually invest in Metaverse? What are the major directions or areas that investors should be focusing on?
From an investment perspective, the metaverse is a combination of many evolving technologies which will altogether make a creator-driven economy that is huge and prosperous. When we map out the investment opportunities of the metaverse, we can roughly divide the investment into 4 categories of industry chains. The first being metaverse infrastructure, which mainly includes edge and cloud infrastructure. Edge infrastructure refers to components in the helmet-mounted displays and sensing equipments that were just mentioned, as well as the semiconductors in these devices such as logic processor chipsets, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi chipsets, inertial sensors, and other chipsets as well. Cloud infrastructure includes servers, switch optical modules in data centers, logic chips, and optical transceiver chips. The second is the metaverse development capabilities deployed on the hardware, including software tools for 3D modeling, rendering, simulation engines, and SLAM positioning algorithms, as well as middleware softwares, distributed databases, and blockchain technologies. The third category is platform economy. These platforms provide users with various application services, including electronic wallet payments, displaying goods in large exhibition halls, meeting customers in conference rooms, playing table tennis in gyms, and a range of other services and contents available as well. Which brings us to the fourth category of the providers to most of these services and content, also known as the metaverse creator ecosystem. These application services and content can be producer-generated content produced by professional creators or user-generated content produced by ordinary users based on their own ideas and creativity.
When talking about Metaverse development, where are we in this stage? What's your long-term expectation on the development of Metaverse, and what are the potential barriers during the development?
We're currently still in a very early stage of development because we're still subject to many hardware and software limitations. For some of these limitations, there are already clear directions or solutions to solve the problems. Taking the lens of the helmet-mounted device as an example, the mainstream HMDs such as Oculus Quest or the ones offered by Sony PS5 still use Fresnel lenses, which are very heavy and unfriendly to users who wear glasses or, for example, ladies with makeup. But luckily, we already see clear directions for technical upgrades in this area where potentials are unlimited, so to speak. However, some other limitations may become hindrances to the development of the metaverse, and there appears to be a long way to go in order to solve these problems. An example of this is the software and hardware upgrades needed for data processing. The metaverse will lead to an upgrade in user experience from 2D space to 3D space, and the corresponding data processing scale required will grow exponentially, meaning that the current server computing powers and bandwidth resources will be extremely stretched as a result. So we will need to constantly upgrade our CPU and GPU chipsets and migrate to more advanced platforms in order to increase transistor density, improve the efficiency of optical modules to send and receive data, optimize the configuration of efficiency of server clusters, and so on. And in the long run, when the technical issues in software and hardware are progressively solved, the usage scenarios of the metaverse is expected to blossom and extend to all aspects of our life and work. And we will find more and more investment opportunities going forward. However, the future of the metaverse will depend on how prosperous the creator economy is. And the prosperity of the creator economy will depend on how creators are enticed into the ecosystem in order to produce high-quality content, and on top of that, whether it can provide these creators with easy-to-access creation tools and in turn lower the threshold for content creation.
There are also some doubts about the metaverse. For example, people in the capital market may say, is it just a hype? And is it just a trend? Mr. Wang, for you, how do you view these doubts?
Yes, we do see that some companies have registered trademarks with metaverse as the keyword, or have organized literary activities with the metaverse theme, who are then touted as metaverse leaders. But we can't deny the significance of the entire technological change simply because of some individual cases, or potentially give up a large number of related investment opportunities as a result. We have also seen some high-quality companies using metaverse technology appropriately. For example, a company has developed an immersive course that simulates training courses for police officers to perform official duties, which has greatly improved the training effect, although this company doesn't expressively say they are a metaverse company. And so it is important to identify aspects such as whether these companies have promoted the technological progress of the industry, how much market share can be taken in the upstream and downstream industrial value chains of the metaverse, how sustainable the business model is, and how wide their moat is. These are what institutions should look at, and also the value our metaverse concept strategy provides to our investors.
There are so many things investors need to take into account. Which market, Mr. Wang, you would suggest investors to focus on when investing in Metaverse? Is there a straightforward way to do so, and would you also share with us the rationale behind?
I think the US stock market is a good choice. Most of the current metaverse leaders are listed in the US, and the information disclosure of US listed companies are also sufficient and transparent. This makes it suitable for a new investment theme such as the metaverse. And so our present strategy also focuses on the US stock market. We use a buy and hold strategy based on a strict stock selection system to screen out about 40 to 50 stocks, where the weight of each single stock will not exceed 10%. Apart from a monthly rebalancing, we may also adjust positions according to real-time situations in special periods, such as earnings seasons, and therefore making the overall rebalancing more flexible. Furthermore, our investment research team have been tracking and studying the new economy sector for a very long time now, aiming to help investors generate alpha from the theme and the individual stocks. And so this active ETF strategy has been packaged and launched on the Hong Kong Exchange, which introduces a very convenient and cost-efficient tool for investors to participate in for less than 1,000 Hong Kong dollars.
And lastly, Mr. Wang, would you please help us to summarize the reasons for investing in the Metaverse?
Yep. Firstly, the Metaverse is not only a major direction of capital allocation, but also an important direction for technological development. Secondly, investing in the Metaverse is actually investing into many cutting-edge technologies in the world and the opportunities for continuous upgrades and developments in these technologies, as well as a prosperous creator economy that may emerge in the future, which also means many different technologies and technological cycles will help to diversify the cyclical fluctuations of the subsectors. And last but not least, the Metaverse is still in initial stages, which means we can expect many more development stages going forward. There are a large number of investment opportunities within each development stage and a huge potential for growth to explore. So in conclusion, we believe that the Metaverse is the most valuable and attractive investment field in the next 20 to 30 years. Thank you.